house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Come to us for your news and opinions. We got a voice. There is no choice. Wisdom voice. In your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast is like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Papa see your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Swallow.
What's up, guys? What's cracking? Hollywood House. In your house. We're back. We're ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are with the shits, because we're with the shits. And we're ready to talk a little wrestling. That is right. You guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to professional wrestling business. And guys, that's exactly what we intend to do. And we've been doing it for as long as we have. And here we are again, giving it to y'all again. After another week of professional wrestling. And my God, I've been busy. Not gonna lie to you guys, straight up. Keep it a band with you. Transparency is important. I've been busy. We meant to give you a review on night 2. A lot of shenanigans happening over on AEW, and we haven't even got a chance to talk about that. So much things to go through. Then we still have Monday Night Raw from last night, all the fallout from WrestleMania, everything that it's a lot. It's a lot. But guys, that's okay, because we actually are going to give you guys a little extra content. Of course, you longtime listeners already know that for the last almost 4 years, I've been the producer of the Pope Elijah Burke, former NWA, TNA, and WWE star of his podcast. Well, this week he has big obligations with the Shad Gaspard Memorial Cup that is coming up this weekend in Jacksonville, Florida. So I'm going to have to assume the responsibilities of his podcast. I have to hop on. I got to hop on and host and make sure that everything goes the way it needs to go for Pope and for Pollo Del Mar. So I'm going to be sliding over there, and I'll be taking my co-host with me and my co-producer and the producer of Pope's video series. And, of course, that's Hypocrisy Jones. You know, he's producer Red over there on The Con Man. And we're going to talk a little bit of wrestling, talk a little bit of what's in the news. If you guys know that vibe, you guys are listening to the Post Point of View, you know about the news with the letter Z. But also, we're going to give you a little bit something special here. I told Pope I really wanted to have somebody on, a guest on, to help prop things up, you know, because Pope, he gets those listeners on his own. But when they realize that it's not him, they tune out. They tune out because they want the Pope, you know. But I wanted to get a guest. So I ended up getting independent wrestler KC Navarro, who is going to be coming on and talking to me on the Pope's point of view. Got a chance to talk to KC, and he's very busy. He's going to be in the Shad Gaspard Memorial Cup tournament that is going to crown a winner of the Beast Cup, and that's going to be very cool for the late WWE Hall of Famer Shad Gaspard, as they remember the man, the son, the brother, the wrestler, the friend, everything. They remember him. So we got a chance to talk with KC Navarro. KC Navarro's been with many different promotions such as AEW, is also worked with MLW and also TNA. So it was a good conversation, and I'm hoping that I can get Casey to come over here on In Your House and talk a little bit more with myself and you guys out there in the household, you guys that have made us a 5-star podcast on Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate y'all. Definitely still need you guys to keep it up, though. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Get these listens up. Wrestling's hot right now. You know, and I get there's a lot of different podcasts that you can go to, but you know, I've always prided myself in being a go-to podcast where you can talk wrestling and be entertained and just be logical with what we're talking about here. You know, I'm proud of the fact that this isn't a hot button podcast where we just spew crazy takes and whatnot to try to get attention. And that makes the grind harder. I'll be honest with you. You know, we just had a podcaster over on X that was harassing Jay Malachi, Javon Evans on NXT, and that was a whole mess. And when I see people like that, I know, like, I don't got the following, or I'm not hot on like X or you know, the social medias and whatnot, but you know, I just never really wanted to go that route. You know, I just wanted to talk wrestling and be real about it. And I know that's part of the reason why I'm not like getting all these follows on X, and that I'm not like getting subtweeted by Ava over on NXT or Trick Williams or anything. Because, you know, what I'm doing is just not, it's not as entertaining as somebody that is trying to tug on, you know, trying to push your buttons, you know. So it is what it is. I'm gonna stay in this lane, and I'm gonna stay on the positive side of professional wrestling. And if I don't get another follower, it just is what it is, because I love this for what it is and not for what it can do for me if I try to push people's buttons, you know, whatever. It's whatever. That's not why I started doing this. But what I did start doing this for was to talk some wrestling, talk some professional wrestling. We had Monday Night Raw last night as we're really kicking off the Triple H era, as they're calling it. We got to call this something else. All right. You can't be the Triple H era. We know this is the Paul Levesque era starting it, but like they didn't call like the Attitude Era the Vince McMahon era. They called it the Attitude Era, or the Ruthless Aggression era, or the PG era. What's this one? That's what I want to know. What do y'all think? What's this one called? Reality era? They're talking reality? I don't know. What do you guys think? Just let me know in the comments if you guys think what should this be? I'll get a little love over there on IG. What's up, Abby? What is going on? Appreciate you sliding through, talk a little wrestling with me. But yeah, I do think that we got to give this. What's this name? What are we naming this? What are we naming this? I don't know. I guess it'll come with time. We'll see. But this show, there was rumors early in the day that Rhea Ripley had been injured and that she was going to have to vacate her World Women's Championship as early as last night. And damn, because that's what really happened. And I'm not happy about that. And I don't think any of us are happy about that because Mommy was on top. All right, she had just had her victory against Becky Lynch, and she was looking to be riding high. It was looking like there was really no contenders out there that could really come and against her and try to take that title away from her. You know, we didn't know what was going to happen. We knew Liv was in the mix, and she really presented herself by yeeting that chair at her head like we was playing WWE 2K or something. Like, what is happening? She just tossed that chair at her head. I was like, to me at the time, it was funny. I'm not gonna lie. That was funny to me. But now I didn't want Mommy to get hurt. That's not what I intended. I didn't want that. Definitely, I don't want to see nobody get hurt for real. You know. So it is what it is. You know, she got hurt. Injuries happen. It's part of the business, and you know, it's tough, man. It's tough because you see her doing everything that she's doing. I got my man OG Tony saying maybe the biggest star in wrestling. That you could say that. She's in that conversation. Like, it's not outlandish. So like, who's the biggest stars right now in wrestling? We're talking Rhea Ripley. We got to put Cody in that conversation, right? Like, Cody's in there. Bianca Belair is somebody who's always been pushed to the forefront as far as what she can do. Who else? Who's next? Because it's like, I don't feel like Damian is there yet. Like, he's the world champion, but he's not there yet. Of course, you could say Roman Reigns, obviously, but like, who are like the biggest, hugest stars? And like, that's a good question. But now it's like, with this thing with Liv, it's literally been like a shoulder for a shoulder. You know, it's a shoulder for a shoulder. And because, you know, a lot of people, especially if you guys listen to the older episodes when P was on here, Paragon, which, by the way, like, thoughts with my man P, injured over the weekend at Emerge. I'm going to talk a little bit about Emerge. That's in the conversation, but thoughts in love with him, you know, and yeah, just speedy recovery, man, after a crazy, crazy weekend at Emerge. Like I said, I'm going to talk about that, but I'm going to stay here with Monday Night Raw for right now. And like, it's a big thing. It's a big, big thing, this vacating the title. It's a big, big thing, this figuring out who's next. Because like, there's that history that Liv has with Rhea, and I think that it makes sense. So like, I was kind of comparing what Liv is doing to a little bit of like what Drew McIntyre, like everybody is saying, like Drew was not messing with the bloodline. Like when it was cool to try to fight against the bloodline, Drew just kind of stayed in his own lane, right? He kept the same energy all the way around, no matter what. He kept the energy. He was saying, I'm not messing with the bloodline. I'm focused. I'm focused. And he never messed with the bloodline. He never tried to fight the bloodline. He just tried to handle his own business. And, you know, he got hate for that because he wasn't doing the popular thing, which was the baby faces was fighting the bloodline. He was like, I ain't getting. No, you see what happens anytime you go against the bloodline? I'm good. I'm straight. I'm focused. I've got my linear focus as far as being champion. And it worked for him until it didn't anymore when Damian Priest cashed in. But, you know, it is what it is, you know. But, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like Liv has this story that she's telling, and it's nobody else's story to get. You know, everybody's like, oh, well, why is she the heel in this? She has, you know, she has motive to go against somebody like Rhea Ripley. Like Rhea has been, let's face it, Rhea's been getting cheered and stuff, but in this whole thing, she's kind of still been a heel, but she's kind of starting to transcend that now, right? Where it's like she's more of a tweener and people were just starting to like her because they like her. So now you have Liv who's going up against a popular person. Like, I don't care how much popularity you got. I don't care that you're the cool kid now. Remember way back in the day when you did me dirty? I didn't forget. So I don't care if these people out here think that what I'm doing is popular or not. This is my journey to have. This is Liv Morgan's journey. And Liv Morgan, like when Drew McIntyre told CM Punk, I prayed for this to happen. I think Liv Morgan prayed for this to happen because this revenge tour has been real. And who knows, maybe this revenge tour could end with Liv Morgan hoisting that women's world championship. But she showed her face, Liv did during this, and you can tell that finally, Liv Morgan has Rhea Ripley's complete and undivided attention. So when Rhea does come back, you know exactly where she's going. You know exactly where she's going. Wherever Liv Morgan is at, that's where she's going. Yeah, you can say Swerve too. I'll put Swerve in that conversation too. He's starting to kind of get a whole lot of traction behind him and transcend that company, no matter what's happening in that company, you know. So like, yeah, Swerve is a good one. But man, you know, really, the biggest thing there is what's going to happen next with this Women's World Championship. You know, and, you know, Abby, you're saying that mommy deserved the belt. That's why she had the belt for so long, because she did deserve it. And she, you know, held that up and was champion for. And it's like, I think it got so big to where it was like, there's nobody to really take this off of her. Like, Becky Lynch couldn't do it. Nia Jax in the heat of her run couldn't do it. You know, Liv Morgan, I just don't think they saw her as that big of a threat. Like, she beat everybody, and now it's like there's nobody. So, like, the only way you're going to take the title off of her is, you know, by running the injury angle. Like, that's not me saying for sure this is an angle. I didn't see, but after the chair shot, I don't really know what happened, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't see where the injury may or may not have happened. But, you know, all I know is that it sucks. It sucks because it ends her reign. She's out for like, what, 3 or 4 months, you know? So it's going to be interesting when she comes back, though, because the landscape is going to be very different because wrestling moves and it moves quick. You know, so when she comes back, that landscape's going to be mad different. And you know who's experiencing that right now? Sheamus. Sheamus just came back. Sheamus made his return. He went up against Ivar, which I thought was a really good first opponent for him, to be honest. I really do. I just think that Ivar is moving in such a way right now where, like, he's getting featured, like, he's weekly on the show. And yeah, he's not winning every match. In fact, I think he's losing quite a bit of matches. But, you know, he's on the show a lot and really doing his thing and just making a way for himself, you know, And I'm down with it. I'm an Ivar fan, to be honest. Like, I like Eric. I liked him as a tag team, but Ivar's really held his own during the singles run. And kudos to WWE for keeping him, relevant and on TV, whether he's winning or not. Like he's been working like pretty much every single week. So you got Sheamus, who picked up the victory. Looked a little slower in the match, to be honest, but the big story here is everybody talking about him online. Like, all right, man, you can see, like, if you watch the match, you could hear that Cole said that he was dealing with some neck injuries, and everybody's talking about, oh, he didn't look like he didn't got some weight on him and this and that. And I'm like, man, you dealing with neck injuries, bro. Like, you can't play with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't play with that stuff. So yeah, he maybe got a little bit out of shape. It is what it is. But he's gonna keep it pushing and keep it rolling. And I bet like Sheamus, he worked, bro. Like he'll be back looking good in no time, and he'll probably be even beefier. To be honest with you, like he'll be bigger. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, bro. I just feel like that you got to give Sheamus a little bit of time. I really think that maybe he could have done a little bit more to get his body right before he came back. But once again, the neck issues. I got to go back to that. So like, I'm just happy to see Sheamus back because I remember like a month or two ago or something, they said he deactivated his X account, and I wasn't sure if there was some crazy stuff that had happened or if he was just going through depression or something. Like, I don't know. I just hope everything was good with Sheamus. But I'm glad to see him again. I'm glad to see him back again. Sheamus been in that mix. He got a good reaction from the crowd. I really, once again, really, really enjoy seeing Sheamus. Sheamus low key like grew on me so much because I was always trying to be cool in the wrestling community and try to reject all the WWE made guys, even though he did have a little bit of run on the indies, but not as much. You like the indie darlings, and Sheamus wasn't really an indie darling, but Sheamus has really like won me over, like over the course of his career, to where I love me some Sheamus, and I love his hard hitting ability and his personality and everything that he brings to the table. Sheamus is a really, really great wrestler. I'm happy to see him back in a wrestling ring again. Team Ringmasters over on YouTube is asking me about the brand new World Tag Team Championship belts. I was actually going to get to that, man. So I appreciate the question there. To be honest with you, man, it is such a nice, refreshing look from those red and blue silver atrocities. I'm not even going to lie. Like, it's just so much better to me, and I like the design. I like the gold. I like the red. I vibe with it. I really do enjoy what I see in terms of those belts. Now, I saw there was a few mixed reactions because I was kind of on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I was on both like heavily last night during Monday Night Raw, and there was a whole lot of mixed reactions as far as like those titles go. And I feel like that, you could be on both sides of the spectrum as far as those titles, however you look at it. But I think we can all agree that just some change was a step in the right direction of those titles. Anything at this point would have really just been better. I mean, it just would have, because those titles were just dead in the water. I'm sorry, the design didn't pop. It wasn't cool looking, and then you got the guys carrying around two separate belts. Like, why they don't need all that? They're messing up the ring entrances in WWE 2K because they got the two belts. It's just give them one belt. This two belt crap was ridiculous. So like, but I do like the change to the World Tag Team Championships. I think that you should, like, tag team wrestling deserves that love. Like, they deserve a world championship, And man, I gotta say, I always enjoy that. And I got dropped in on here. My man over here, my co-host, my co-producer, he decided to shout, I can't have no solo shots no more, bro. Like, I can't have my fun no more. Nah, I'm just kidding. You always welcome up in here. What's up, Hype? Whoa, I think I lost my man for a second there. Are you there? Yeah, bro, I don't got you. Give me 1 second. We're gonna get this conversation cracking, y'all. Yeah, yep. I'm gonna keep it going here, y'all, while he's getting that figured out. Justin Grubb, he's saying that Gable will be world champion in the next angle. I got a lot of thoughts on that. I'm gonna get into that most definitely, so stick around. And I'm gonna get to that. But back to these tag team championships, I think it's good to have those tag titles. I think it's good to stamp the fact that we're entering a new era. Like, I was pleasantly surprised by these new title designs for the simple fact that I hadn't heard anything about it during the day. And yes, I had a very busy day, so I wasn't really on social media like that. But I was really sitting over there, and I was like, when I saw Triple H come out, I was like, "What's Triple H doing here? What's that for? What?" And then I saw the red carpet in the ring, and then I sat there, and when I saw the red carpet in the ring, I was like, "Ooh, something happening." And then I saw that there was something in the middle. There was a pedestal and there was a cover of it. I was like, "Ooh, something happening!" And it was going crazy. I was like, "Okay, there's some." And then it clicked. I was like, "What new title? Are we finally getting a women's mid card title?" And I was like, "Well, no, we can't. There's no way because they just got the women's North American Championship. We're not moving that fast, are we?"
Hey, Colin,
And
can you hear me now?
there you are. There you
Hey.
are.
Yo, what's up, yo? Hey, I didn't want to stay for too long. You can still have your solo set or solo shot. I just wanted to make sure that you had another talking head to talk to for just a second, and I wanted to bring that smoke as I do, you know. I first off, I love what you were saying about Liv. I also kind of like what you were saying about the tag belts. So happy we don't have those penny nickel belts anymore, because those were garbage for 15 years. And but honestly, I just really want to come on here, tell you I love your face and I miss you, and you're my dog, yo.
Oh, well, you know it's all love, bro. You already know, man. I know you a busy man. You got a million things going on right now, bro. So I always appreciate you sliding in and just showing some love, you know?
Always. You know, and now I'm gonna pop off and I'll listen to you on the flip side.
All right, brother, man. Appreciate you sliding on.
Later.
Guys, that was my man Hype sliding through. You know, like I said, those tag titles, very polarizing right now. You know, there's a lot of people who loved them, a lot of people who didn't love them. But me, I was on the side who liked them, you know? And as far as you, OG Tony, your question, who takes Rhea's place as champion? It's a good question. Whew. Nia Jax. I think Nia Jax is a really, really good dot, to be honest with you. Unless you just want to go with like somebody who's like reliable. If you don't want to like shake things up or anything like that, I guess you go with Becky Lynch. Or you could just go with the obvious and have Liv Morgan win them and have her hold it until Rhea Ripley comes back. But I got to tell you, I think there's a little bit of money in the Nia Jax title reign because let's face it, Nia Jax has been booked really well for the last few months, even with her not like winning all the time and her not even being featured at WrestleMania. Think about like the path of destruction, the way she's beat up like top girls like Rhea Ripley, the way she's beat up top girls like Becky Lynch and just dominated them. Imagine you put the title on her. Who's gonna stop her? Who's gonna stop her? Seriously, like at this point, who's gonna stop her? The only person that I think could stop her is the person who she beat, which was Rhea Ripley. So you let her have the title and hold on to it till Rhea Ripley comes back, and then Rhea Ripley can fight for it back, and then maybe you still keep that Liv Morgan story, there. But I don't know. I feel like with Rhea Ripley, like the first thing she's gonna do when she comes back is figure out where Liv Morgan is at. Like I know she's like a proud champion, and like I get that, totally get that. But for some reason, with the way, like her energy, I think her first thing when she comes back is where Liv Morgan at, because I'm in her ass, bro. That's what I see for real, man. And I gotta say, going back, I want to circle back to the tag title segment real quick. First off, I like this segment a lot. I like the fact that R-Truth was getting his love from Triple H, and I love the fact like this. Truth is funny, man. He's just so doggone funny. Like him confusing Triple H for Tommaso Ciampa, him basically giving DIY the DX gimmick and them running with it. I dig it. It's fun stuff. I'm happy to see R-Truth have a WrestleMania moment and be a champion. It's long overdue, and everything he's done has been good, and he's made it entertaining, and he's still putting on solid matches, and he's not complaining about where he's at on the card. He's just chilling, and every time he comes out, he gets a reaction. And he looks amazing for his age. My God, the man don't age. I'm happy to see that man get his just due. It's cool. And same thing with the Miz too. Let me not leave the Miz out of there. Like, Miz has always figured out where he needs to be on the card, and he's accepted it with grace. And it's just a testament to the saying, knowing your role can change your life. That's right. Yes, I'll say it again. Knowing your role can change your life. Knowing your niche, knowing what you're good at, getting in where you fit in, and just getting really good at that. And not everybody's gonna be the superhero. Not everybody's gonna be the ace. Not everybody's gonna be the main character. And if people can accept where they fit in to whatever it is and get really good at that, that's life changing, bro. That's life changing information. You're getting it here free on the In Your House podcast. Knowing your role can change your life. And that's what we see with somebody like The Miz. You had great teams. I talked a little bit about DIY and what the Awesome Truth has given to them, specifically R-Truth, and making them DIY, DX, whatever, the Regeneration X. But we're seeing this blossom and tag team division that involves DIY, the New Day, and the Creed brothers. And I got a lot of thoughts on the Creed brothers and Chad Gable. I think there's some cool stuff coming with that. I really hope there is. But you're getting to see these tag teams on display, and then the New Day I love the New Day. I have. In the height of the New Day, love the New Day. Still love the New Day now. It really feels like their role right now is enhancing tag team talent. Enhancing tag team talent. I love it. I love what the New Day is doing and the role that they're playing, to be honest. And it's great to see teams like DIY and the Creed brothers get developed and get into these situations. And we saw DIY win, and now they're going to face the Awesome Truth next week on Monday Night Raw. So that's going to be cool. I don't think they win. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe DIY turn heel. I don't know. I mean, I honestly feel like that with Gable turning heel. And if you guys saw it, you already know. Creed brothers got to be. I want the Creed brothers and Gable to be like the new Team Angle. Just make them the Academy. Nothing like, unless you're making Otis like serious or something like that. I don't see a spot for Otis. Definitely don't see a spot for Tozawa. You switch out. I would honestly switch out Maxine and switch her out with Ivy now, and the group of the Alpha Academy is going to compile of Gable, the Creed brothers, and Ivy Nile. And that fits in the landscape of what they're doing with stables. Look at the Judgment Day. Look at the Pride. Look at the Final Testament. Look at the OC. You have your male members, and then you have your female member. I really feel like that the Academy, if you still want to call it the Alpha Academy, you put this team together as a heel group. You have the instructor and Chad Gable. You have the proteges with the Creed brothers, and then you have the impressive female of the group of Ivy Nile. The optics of that can look very, very good, and it's definitely a step that could be taken that can elevate Chad Gable to him being this calculated heel stable leader that develops his guys and helps develop Ivy and helps with it, because his thing is that his gimmick now is that he's this great coach. He's got this great mind for wrestling to be able to teach it. And with that crop of talent right there, that's a good crop of talent to have. So like, yeah, I like that idea, to be honest, is you have them as like that Team Angle type, and then you throw Ivy Nile in there and she's got that pit bull energy. Like that's the one right there, to be honest. I think that's a great faction on Monday Night Raw. If it seems like we're moving away from the Judgment Day, or they're starting to wind down or whatever is happening. But I definitely think that with no Imperium on TV right now, this is a great opportunity for the Alpha Academy, the new Alpha Academy, to really take over that mid card as that heel stable, and that's what's going to get Chad Gable to those intercontinental to that intercontinental championship, is this tweak, this heel run, this new attitude. And I think, boom, Sammy's a great champion. I think that he's going to be a great champion for the time that he has it. But I think that this is all leading up for Chad Gable to finally get that title. I do see that coming. I really, really do. Even if it be at SummerSlam, it could be before that. But SummerSlam is a good spot right there. I mean, who knows? We could definitely see what's going to happen in time. You had Andrade, you got Ricochet, and everything that's going on with that. And I like this situation with Andrade. He's coming in, he's going up against the Judgment Day. You have somebody like Ricochet, who's been beating the Judgment Day. He's got the Judgment Day's number, is basically what it's been looking like, and it's been interesting to follow. So that's been something cool right there, and you just want to see where it goes. I definitely want to see Ricochet get more spin. I'm glad to see him on the show weekly. And I'm not saying that he needs to be like a champion right now or anything, but he's gaining traction again, and he's somebody who knows how to keep himself relevant. And he's a great competitor. He should be out there. He should be out there every single week on some WWE show doing something. And I'm glad that it's Monday Night Raw. So yeah, you got that there. My girls, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, they went down to Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and I'm just like, man, I really put my stamp on Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, and it's not their fault. I mean, I'm not blaming anybody, but it's just like, I feel like there's so much moving parts in this women's tag team division, and that they should have a bigger part in it. And I know they've tried some things with them, like some backstage segments and stuff, but like, I don't know. I still feel like there's something there. So I also think that bringing it to Cody Rhodes is a good thought, because Cody comes out and he's ready to talk. He's ready to do his thing. He's ready to talk about the story. So we see Cody, he comes out, and I love the way he's carrying that championship belt, to be honest with you. I really do. He holds it just like a champion. He's looking like a champion. And there's questions about, why is he on both shows? Why is he on Monday Night Raw still when he has the WWE Undisputed Championship? I think we're going to still see that happening until this draft happens. I do. And I think that Cody prides himself in being somebody who's kind of stretching himself out and making himself available to everybody, because, you had somebody like Seth Rollins, who we haven't even seen, who was on, He was on every show representing the brand. He was there, and now we're not seeing him because he's taking some. I hope he's taking some well-deserved time off, to be honest with you. But who's gonna hold it down while guys like Roman Reigns isn't on TV, while guys like Seth Rollins ain't on TV, Becky Lynch isn't on TV? We haven't seen the. Is there anybody else? I mean, help me out here. Is there anybody else who hasn't been on TV since WrestleMania? Because there's quite a few talents that haven't been on TV since WrestleMania, and big name talents. So, you got to have that guy that's going to be a great brand representative. And you got that with somebody like Cody. And, you got Jay Uso coming out, and, Cody wanted to thank Jay for helping him combat the bloodline. And, Jay's got his own thing going. He's the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. He defeated Finn Balor last night. There's a lot of things going on for Jay Uso. He's got a lot of irons in the fire as well. So it was time for Cody and Jay to go their separate ways. And look at the opening that somebody like Cody Rhodes gave to somebody like Jay Uso. He went from being somebody that was in the Raw locker room that nobody trusted, nobody wanted to mess with. He had been so deeply involved in everything going on with the bloodline as a member of the bloodline, and then ain't nobody was messing with him. But man, here comes somebody like Cody Rhodes who's going to be like, hey, let's give bro an opportunity. And he didn't took that opportunity and he's turned it into a match against Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash. And man, it's just crazy to see how far he's come in terms of that. But it's not that shocking because Jay Uso is one of the best performers in the company right now. He's connecting with the crowd. He's putting out great matches. I know. We talked about the WrestleMania match with his brother, and it just is what it is at this point. There's no reason in rehashing that. But, besides that, he's been consistent for like 3 years, 3-4 years. So, it's well-deserved, and I don't think he's going to beat Damian Priest for the championship at Backlash. If anything, we might see some Jimmy Uso involvement again, because I'm not sure that's even done yet, but at the end of the day, it's great for him to be in these situations. And I think he's happy to be in these situations. I like seeing Jay Uso be Jay Uso. I like him doing this yeet thing. I like him doing the wave with the crowd and everything. I like him getting in his bag, being himself, and setting himself apart from his twin brother, setting himself apart from the bloodline, setting himself apart from everybody else in his family. And that's hard to do, but he's managed to do it and be a top guy doing it. So, for real, kudos to Jay Uso and everything that he's doing. And as far as guys that are doing top guy things, look at Sami Zayn, as we had that very cool transition between Jay Uso and Sami Zayn. Sami outside reminiscing about him going to that arena, now him coming back there and as a champion, going through the front doors. And then when that transition happened between him and Jay, whoever is doing the camera work is doing crazy work. I mean, just straight nutty work, because he was saying oh, you want to see one of the best wrestling towns? Check this out. And then he comes out, starts going crazy. Crowd's going nuts. He comes through the crowd. It's just, man, goosebumps, bro. Straight up goosebumps with that entrance. He was the man that night, man, with the championship. His family was there in the front. He was drove. I mean, Sammy knows how to make you care. He knows how to make you care. He's so good at it. He's so good at it, man. It's just crazy what he does. But I'm not hating what I'm seeing with Gable either, though. They had a really good match, and Gable came through and just is doing that consistent work. I knew this match was going to be good. Anybody who knows anything about Sami Zayn and Chad Gable knows this was going to be a good match. But with what happened at the end, Chad snatching that man out of his wife's hands and suplexing him in front of his hometown is going to, obviously it's solidified. That beatdown solidified Chad Gable as a heel. But that to me, and maybe it's recency bias, maybe, I don't know. But when I saw that, I was like, damn, that's a memorable heel turn. Like, that's not just some crap put together heel turn. And they ended the show with him still in that ankle lock, Sammy still in that ankle lock from Gable. Like, they're turning, like, Gable's attitude is completely different now. Like, that was a very like well put together heel turn in my opinion, because he took him right out of his wife's hands and just boom suplexed him, and that was good stuff. And then the beatdown continues. He's right there. He's beating him up in front of his family. Perfect, because it's kind of like foreshadowing, like, oh, I had to deal with my daughter getting I was embarrassed in front of my daughter, and I'm going to embarrass you in front of your entire family. You stole my moment, like that type stuff. And like, it just felt really, really like, yeah, this is where Gable is going to turn that corner. He was supposed to lose last night. Everybody's like, oh, there's people who's like want to see. I don't think anybody, like, I didn't think they was going to pull that trigger. I just didn't. I didn't think they was going to pull that trigger on giving it to Gable last night, but they didn't have to, because to me it created something so much bigger. There's so much, like, I hope people are paying attention, and I'm sure they are. They want to see, like, people want to see this Chad Gable and Creed brother thing. I haven't seen too much on the Ivy Nile front, but definitely the Creeds. I just added Ivy Nile because Ivy's been rocking with the Creeds for so long, and it makes sense to have that female element in the group, like so many different factions that we're seeing currently in the WWE. But people want to see it. People want to see it. I want to see it. And Tony G says the new production is from a guy they hired from ESPN. Well, give him a raise, all right? Because he's doing a damn good job. I'm appreciating his work. I really am. That was good stuff. But we've been so hyped up on everything happening with WrestleMania, with The Rock being there and him bloodying up Cody Rhodes and the Rock concerts and the cussing and everything, and just an amped up put on entertainment that, like, it's like, yeah, maybe this episode was a little bit like slower as far as like not as much crazy entertainment stuff, but it was still a good show that led to things. And, it's leading to things next week, as it should, as we're moving into this draft. We're moving pretty seamlessly into this draft that's coming up, and I'm sure myself and Hype will talk about it as we get a little bit closer to that time. But once again, solid episode of Monday Night Raw. And, man, we talk about the crazy things happening leading up to WrestleMania. I want to real quick talk about some of the crazy things that was happening at Emerge 77, April Rain. My God, the thing was just a crazy show. Crazy show with so much things happening. We had new tag team champions that were crowned with Dylan and Damian Cole as they beat the Portrait of Perfection. So much things going. Matt Diesel, if you don't know No Limit Matt Diesel, my God, like, kid's a star, and every time I see him, he's just getting better and better. Like, I can tell that he's just working, grinding, staying committed, up in the gym, training, because he's really, really good, and he's getting better and better. The fans at Emerge really appreciate what this young man is doing, and I appreciate what this young man is doing. A star was definitely made at Emerge Wrestling, as he got a ovation from the crowd. It was great to see him and have the match that he had with Jason Hotch, who's, no slouch himself. A TNA talent, and Matt more than held his own. So he's super talented in everything that he's doing. He's definitely great. You got all kinds of craziness going down at Emerge Wrestling. You got Jeremy Hadley, like, what? He hit his own guy. Like, he's out the contract now, but he smashed Kenny Cage's head, like, with some brass knuckles, and got DQ'd. He got shut DQ'd. So Jeremy Hadley is something. He really is. He is something. You got Dylan Bostic. Dylan Bostic is a man who is a good talent, but now we got somebody like Mortimer Blankenship the third in his ears and injuring my man P. We don't know the status. We know he had to have surgery. It's just a bad situation all around. And of course, big thoughts and love to Paragon as he's going through the recovery progress. But man, you got to think that Emerge is going to do something about this because, like, that was an unprovoked attack there. And, like, he's injuring the champion, our champion. There's got to be some repercussions for that. There just has to be. I mean, and then what's going on? Sam Knight shows up. I didn't put this man in my past, and he pulls back up to commit a merciless beating on Justin Kyle. I don't know what's going to emerge. It's just like crazy. It's going nuts. I always feel like that with the merge, there was like some sort of formula, but like the whole formula got thrown out the window Saturday night. There was, and it's crazy. There was banger matches too. That's not to say there wasn't. Like, to me, I got a chance to see Colonel LaDon Sanders in a one-on-one match. I'd only seen him in tag team action with Swamp Funk. He had a one-on-one match with Jake Bravado, and it was a good match. It was a great match. My match of the night was personally Jason Hotch and Matt Diesel. I mean, it was just an incredible match. And that's two matches. That's two shows in a row where my match of the night involved Matt Diesel. That's two in a row where the match of the night that I'm picking from tonight involved Matt Diesel. That's got to say something. It's got to say something that Matt Diesel is somebody that should be in everybody's mouths right now. You should be talking about names like Matt Diesel. You should be talking about names like Alexis Littlefoot. You should be talking about names like Jeffrey John. Love me some Jeffrey John. He had a match as well. You should be talking about names like Dylan Bostic, Braden Lee, of course, Paragon. Emerge is really putting out great shows. And like now it's like the gloves feel like they're off, to be honest. Because Saturday night was complete and utter madness. Anything can happen now. It's wild. So you got to get to an Emerge show, whatever may come. That's Emerge 78, May 11th. And the only match that we know that we have right now is going to be Dylan Bostic. And he's going to be going up against Braden Lee. And this is going to be a no disqualification match. Because the last match ended in qualification, Chris Lowe wants there to be a decisive winner. And with no rules, no holds barred, no disqualification, there will be a decisive winner between Dylan Bostic and Braden Lee. So I'm going to go ahead and slide out of here, y'all. It's been already a crazy episode. I got kids going nuts right here. But I wanted to get on here and talk a little bit with y'all because it's been about a week. And, of course, I'm going to get the podcast version out there as soon as I can. Hopefully tonight. If not, it'll be tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon. But I'm going to work towards it, y'all. And I'm going to be just chilling for a couple of weeks, man, transitioning into this move here, finally getting a little bit of time off. I took a day off after working so many days in a row, just tired. But I got a chance to go and have a little bit of lunch today and get a little haircut and just enjoy a little bit of time to myself while I'm not working. But I'm always working. That's why I'm here right now talking to y'all, because I'm constantly working, constantly going. It's all for the love of the art. It's all for the love of wrestling. Hey, guys, you already know it's a movie, y'all. So you guys know where to catch me at. That's at the Hollywood House on IG, Hollywood House on Facebook, and on X. And then you can follow this podcast here at In Your House. And guys, that's on all those social media platforms. And remember, give us a 5-star review and a rating and a review. That'd be very much appreciated. It really helps the trajectory of this podcast. But guys, when you're not doing that, you can just tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone. Because the household, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.